I'm excited for the next season for many different reasons. We're going to be seeing Hansi Flick manage FC Barcelona. We're also going to be seeing the return of Xavi, Balde. Barcelona will be forming a 4-2-3-1 system. The Clásico is also going to come up with Kylian Mbappe going up against FC Barcelona. We're going to be seeing Lamine Yamal grow as a player. But most importantly, the most exciting thing that I am excited about that I could not say 8 months ago is to see Fermín López play. Fermín López has shown and continues to show that he has talent. He shows what he is capable of and why he is starter material. Fermín López has goals, he has assists, he has great arrival into the box, his pressing is outrageous, and his range in passes is also amazing. He also has great shooting abilities. This guy, Fermín López, has everything. If he continues to grow in this way, he will be one of the most complete midfielders in the game. So we saw Spain beat Andorra 5-0. I was looking at the game and Spain were winning 1-0 after the first half was over, and I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be a sleeper, maybe, because there is no way that Spain can score more goals. We saw Kubarsi make an assist, and I'm like, okay, I'm already happy, right? So there's not really much for me to see here. Spain is probably going to win maybe 2-0, if not maybe 1-0, and it stays like this. And then Fermín López came in on the 61st minute, and I still said, okay, great. Fermín López is going to be getting his minutes, maybe get out a few couple of presses, make a couple of runs to make De La Fuente excited and build up his case on why he should be going to the Euros. And so Fermín López came in for Pedri. But then after a few minutes, when he first came on, he skyrocketed. He just exploded on the screen. He ended this game with 2 assists and 1 pre-assist. Yes, I know that one of the assists that he does have does not really count, but we'll talk about that later. But overall, Fermín López was amazing. And this was his first game for the senior Spanish national team. In this game, he played 28 minutes. He got 2 assists, 20 touches, 92% pass accurate rate, 3 key passes, 1 out of 1 long balls completed, 2 big chances created, and 2 ground duels won. Fermín López had a monster of a match. So in the first goal, we saw Fermín López receive in a very deep area. He was getting pressed. He controls the ball quickly with his chest, and he finds Ferran Torres with his run on the right wing easily. And when I saw that pass being made by Fermín López, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is not just a Müller. This guy is not just a one-dimensional midfielder. This guy, Fermín López, knows how to do everything, because the way that he made that pass, it is something that I want to see him exploit in the next season, because we saw very little of this version of Fermín López. The Fermín López that we saw at Barcelona last season was just somebody that did not see the ball a lot, but when he did, he made the runs into the box, or he was waiting in certain areas to just tap in the goal, or even header the goal. Fermín López was a player that became almost like a prime Gundogan. I strongly believe that it is going to be in Hansi Flick's responsibility and his duty to get the best out of this version of Fermín López, because I have never seen this version before, only under De La Fuente and in this game. This just adds an extra layer to his game that we have not seen before. Like, again, we know that he's a great runner. We know that he's a great goal scorer, right? He scored and was involved in 11 goals. But adding this extra layer makes him a pure number 10. Fermín López is telling to us and to the world and to Hansi Flick and stating, trust me as a 10. Place me within a 4-2-3-1 system. I can get the best out of Lamine Yamal on my right side and Nico Williams on my left side. I can find Lewandowski in his runs. Put me there and I will find you opportunities. And so as of now, only 2 players can make those type of passes like Fermín did with Ferran Torres, and that is Gundogan and Pedri. Gundogan and Pedri are really good at finding the player and passing it just in time before that player goes offside. Fermín López having this, I'm like, dude, this guy's going to be dangerous. And what makes it even more exciting is that, yes, we've seen Gundogan and Pedri do that throughout the whole course of the previous season, but Fermín López never practiced this skill set at Barcelona. Can you imagine Fermín López training under Hansi Flick and he demands for Fermín to give out more of this? This guy can become very successful in terms of key passes and assists. We move on towards the second goal that he was involved in, and we saw Fermín López receive on the right side of the box. He was getting pressed yet again, but he passes it to Paris just in time. Paris shoots the ball the first time and it was a rebound. The ball came back to him and then he scored the goal the second time. And because Paris scored on the rebound and not on his first shot when he received it from Fermín López, that is the reason why many say his assist was dismissed. SofaScore is counting Fermín López's assist, but then we saw FootMob claim that it was not an assist. So I don't know. I'm just going to say that yes, it was an assist, and he ended this game with 2 assists in total with 1 pre-assist. We move on towards the third goal that he was involved in, which is again one of his real assists. Fermín López yet again receives the ball between the lines, makes a quick pass with a lot of composure, and finds Ferran Torres with his runs again, just in time, right? Right before Ferran Torres was about to be offside, Fermín López finds his man. So his chance creation is outrageous. I believe that any club right now would love to have him, and I believe that Hansi Flick is going to want to implement him in the best way possible. We truly do have have another gem in our hands. First it was Gavi, and then Balde, then came Lamine Yamal, then Kubarsi, but now it is definitely time for Fermín López. And so I want to thank Xavi Hernández for making all of this happen, because with any other coach, they probably would have signed Fermín López back in the summer of 2023 and just say, oh yeah, this guy here needs to go on another loan to go into the third division and maybe spend another time at Linares, or maybe just send him to another club in second division within Spain. But Xavi said, no, screw all that, bring me Fermín right now because I see something special in him. And so I just think that in about 4 years, because I know that right now we're not going to appreciate his work, it's going to be taking some time, but in 4 years, we are all going to be thanking Xavi later for what he did. Yes, Xavi Hernández did not bring the Champions League, he did not bring the treble, but what he brought us is a treble of players, which is Yamal, Kubarsi, and Fermín López. He brought us a treble of players that is going to be the foundation towards Barcelona's success in the future. Xavi Hernández wanted Lo Celso in the summer of 2023. Barcelona said, no, there's no way. Javier Tebas is not allowing us to sign any players. And so Xavi said, okay, fine. Let me just bring out Fermín López. I can get the best out of the player. No problem. When Barcelona's defense was really bad through the previous season, right? Back in November, December, and January, Koundé had to go back into the right back position, and we had to move Christensen into the double pivot position because we had no other option. The best idea was to have Koundé as a right back and not as a center back, and Christensen to go on and balance the midfield with Frenkie de Jong, and then pulled out Kubarsi to play right next to Araujo instead of using Inigo Martinez, a player that Barcelona also just signed, and yet again pulled out another youngster after Xavi Hernández did not get what he wanted in the summer of 2023. And not just what he wanted, but after what he lost in the summer of 2023. When Xavi Hernández yet again lost another player, which was Dembélé, he was left stranded with no options, and Xavi yet again dared to use a 16-year-old player named Lamine Yamal over a player like Rafinha, and he said Rafinha is going to be going on the left side and I'm going to be putting my faith on Yamal. And so you see how like Xavi Hernández always reworked his ideas through the Barcelona complications. I strongly believe that many of us and this fan base that we do have here on this YouTube channel, we have witnessed history. So Fermín López also wanted to thank Xavi Hernández after this game was over, and this is what he stated: when I made my debut with the Spanish team, I remembered Xavi Hernández. I will always be grateful to him because he gave me the opportunity to fulfill my dream of playing for Barcelona. If I am here today, it is thanks to him. And so again, I loved Fermín López's performance. I do not know if he's going to be called up to the Euros, because at the end of the day, this was a game for many players to prove why they should go to the Euros, and we'll see. I think that he should. I think that De La Fuente needs someone like him because Gavi will not be there, and because Pedri's not 100% fit, we'll see what happens in the end. As for the next season with Barcelona, do I see Fermín López starting with the team? As of now, I'm just going to be saying no, only because Pedri still has a lot of skin in the game, and Pedri will most likely be our 10 within the 4-2-3-1 system. But if Fermín López has an amazing Euro with Spain and he gets called up, assuming, right? And let's just say that he scores 4 goals and provides 4 assists, and we see him building momentum, then that is where I am going to be saying, okay, fine, Fermín López does deserve to start in the 4-2-3-1 system under Hansi Flick for the next season. Many might say, but Kevin, don't you think that Pedri should be starting because Pedri is somebody who has not played a lot and Pedri is more important, etc., etc. Look, he's 21 years old. He spent the past 3 years never getting tested at all. He felt safe. No one ever tested his position, and now we finally have one. If Fermín López is showing up more than Pedri, Fermín should start. If Pedri is showing up more than Fermín, then Pedri should start. Pedri needs to feel the pressure. This is good. Pedri needs to know that his position is not safe and that he can be benched in any random time. And so to me, Fermín López is serious. Like when I saw him make these assists and make these gameplays, he was always serious. Like he never laughed, he never smiled, he never celebrated. He had that German style, and he just said, we have to keep going. Yes, I provided an assist. Yes, my pre-assist was amazing, but we have to keep going. He's always focused. He does not joke around, and that is what I do love about his character. And so that is it. That's all I do have to say for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.